Start.
Our lower limb is divided into thigh, leg, and foot. Thigh is between the hip joint, and leg is between the hip joint and ankle joint. And foot is below the ankle joint. Thigh is divided into three compartments: anterior compartment, medial compartment, and posterior compartment. Leg is divided into three compartments: anterior compartment, lateral compartment, and posterior compartment. Now the anterior compartment of the thigh. These muscles going from anterior superior iliac spine to gyros, the medial to tibial tuberosity is the sartorius, the Taylor's muscle. The other anterior compartment muscles of the thigh are the quadriceps femoris, that are the rectus femoris. This is the rectus femoris, and lateral to the rectus femoris is the vastus lateralis. Medial to the rectus femoris is the vastus medialis, and if you flap the rectus femoris, there is vastus intermedialis. The tendons of these four muscles get inserted into the patella via the quadriceps tendon, and the quadriceps then within the patellar tendon gets insertion to the tibial tuberosity. Now the medial compartment of the thigh. There is three adductors muscles, named adductor longus, adductor magnus, and adductor brevis. If you want to find the adductor longus muscle, you should form the femoral triangle with sartorius and adductor longus. As you know, the medial border of the femoral triangle is made by the medial border of adductor longus, and the lateral border of the femoral triangle is made by the medial border of sartorius. This is the femoral triangle. If you trace the femoral triangle, you can find the adductor longus muscle. This is the adductor longus. If you try to find the contents of the femoral triangle, there is from medial to lateral, femoral vein, femoral artery, femoral nerve. Vein is not seen here, but this compressible structure is the femoral artery. Lateral to that is femoral nerve, not easily seen here. Then adductor longus. If you get around adductor longus, you will find adductor magnus. This is the adductor magnus beside the adductor longus. Adductor brevis is not seen. The most medial muscle of the thigh is the gracilis. If you take the foot in anatomical position, then you can find the gracilis. If you flap it to the medial side, then you will find a long muscle going from here to tibia. This is the gracilis. Now the posterior compartment of the leg. Posterior compartment of the leg has got the hamstring muscles. That are in lateral side there is semitendinosus, semimembranosus, and in medial side there is semitendinosus, semimembranosus, and in lateral side there is biceps femoris. To find the semitendinosus, you should get along its insertion. The insertion is like the semitendinosus insertion is like tendinous. It gets inserted into gyros with sartorius and gracilis. If you flap the semitendinosus upward, then you find the semimembranosus muscle. There is semimembranosus somewhere here. To differentiate semimembranosus, you should look around its origin. Its origin is membranous, and this is on the lateral side. There is the biceps femoris. It has two heads, on long head and the short head. Long head gets insertion from the pelvis and get inserted into the lateral epicondyle, and the short head has insertion in the linea aspera of femur. Now leg has three compartments: anterior compartment, lateral compartment, and posterior compartment. In anterior compartment, you will find tibialis anterior muscles, tibialis anterior, extensor hallucis longus, extensor digitorum longus from medial to lateral. Now find the tibialis anterior muscle. Tibialis anterior muscle gets its insertion from the lateral aspect of tibia and interosseous membrane. This is the probably this is the tibialis anterior muscle. This is the tibialis anterior muscle. It is inserted into the base of first metatarsal. Now extensor hallucis longus from medial to lateral I am going. This is the extensor hallucis longus tendon. Should first look for the tendon, then you will easily find the muscles. This is the extensor hallucis longus muscle. You can say I am taking the tendon. And lateral to extensor hallucis longus, there is some vessels and nerves in the extensor retinaculum. There, anterior tibial artery and deep peroneal nerve. After that, you will find the extensor digitorum longus. Extensor hallucis bola digitorum bola. Extensor digitorum longus. These are the tendons of extensor digitorum longus. It gets inserted into the lateral four phalanges of the base of the distal phalanx of the four lateral fingers. This is all about the anterior surface. The lateral surface, there is two muscles. You can there is another muscle, peroneus tertius. It is not always seen in the anterior compartment. In lateral compartment, there is peroneus longus and peroneus brevis. The long tendon here is the tendon for peroneus longus. Peroneus longus. It gets inserted by going through the back of the lateral condyle to the sole of the foot. And malleolus. Yes, malleolus. And if you flip the peroneus longus, you will find the peroneus brevis. It's not clearly seen here, not dissected here. Now the posterior compartment of leg. Posterior compartment of the leg has a superficial surface and a deep surface. The superficial surface these are the gastrocnemius muscle. This is the lateral head of gastrocnemius coming from the lateral side, and this is the medial head of gastrocnemius coming from the medial side. If you flap the gastrocnemius muscle, you will find the soleus muscle. Okay, and the plantaris muscle is not well seen here. Now the deep muscles of the posterior compartment of the leg are tibialis posterior, then flexor digitorum longus, then flexor hallucis longus. There is a formation of chiasma here from medial to from chiasma. Crossover. From medial to lateral, if you try to see, this is the Achilles tendon. The insertion of gastrocnemius and soleus tendon goes here. From medial to lateral, if you see, this is not well dissected here. You try to